awesome job taking what the defense gave.
Fox, no good.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
And you're exactly right. I mean, that's the kind of shot you're trying to work for at the offensive.
Now here's Thompson. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Abdul-Jabbar controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Yeah, and that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tipper.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it? Wiggins against Thompson. Back to Bledsoe. Thompson looking for an opening. And there's Bledsoe on the assist by Thompson.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Bledsoe against Fox. On the wing, Wiggins. Abdul-Rahim passes to Wiggins. And they get it. Fox, no good.
It's not easy to keep them from converting those. I mean, the D has to be airtight.
And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Here is Hill. Good if it goes. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's the Detroit Pistons holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. Right back after this break. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, they really got after it. I mean, they made life extremely difficult for the shooters, which is why they hold this lead.
In a moment now, we reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the floor for Boston, Ilgauskas is out there with Marjanovic. Then it's Andrew Wiggins, and it's Fox, and it's Abdul-Rahim in at the 3, the small forward. Here's Camby, uses the glass to finish the layup. Camby's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for the Pistons. You know, Bill, a bevy of talent for the Celtics last season. How close were they to meeting your expectations?
They're about as close as I am living in LA to Boston. They were 3,000 miles away. It was an emotionally scarring season. I hated it. I didn't enjoy it, and it was a huge disappointment. Other than that, it was fun.
Yeah, but it was painful.
When you have a team that you have all these assets, and you can't figure out how those assets can come together as an actual basketball player, you know, that brings the point yet again. This is why we have basketball. It's not just about the players. It's about how they mesh together. That team did not mesh.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
When Trae Young was in college, he was known for his long-range shooting. But Young says the people who know me best know that I'd rather get an assist than any other stat. I pride myself on making the right play. Knowing your teammates get joy and excitement from playing with you is all I care about. Kevin? That's interesting.
Thank you, D.A. The Celtics shooting their second and third free throws tonight.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Warnings checked in for Ilgauskas. Doncic comes in for Andrew Wiggins. Young is subbed in for De'Aaron Fox.
Strong form. Paul, he's a dead-eye shooter from the end.
And Bill, over a quarter of today's NBA players were born in a country other than the United States. The talent is that broad all over the globe.
And Giannis was born on another planet.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what planet
he was otherworldly.
He was at Earth. I think he just got dropped from some satellite. Yeah, this all starts with...
I love it, too, don't you? Don't you? I love the fact we've got players from Latvia and Greece and all over.
What's cool about it is they all kind of have distinct identities and quirks, and one of the things that makes somebody like Doncic so much fun to watch is he's not like anybody else. Like, he's close to James Harden, but he's also that step back three that he was taking that he's been making his whole life, other than Harden, nobody was even really shooting it that way, you know. And I think there's an unselfishness with the European guys that is really useful for really American stuff. 100%. They really, guys move without the ball, give and go, and it's not just a clear out.
Yeah, and it's Green. Listen.
They're not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
Yeah, Greg, that's just great defense. Forcing this man into a difficult attempt. He's not going to miss that shot twice in a row. Trust me.
Ball against Young. The pass to Wilkes. And here is Green. Lets it go with a three. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
And when Draymond sets his feet, catches, and releases in rhythm, watch out.
Young dishes to Mourning. Doncic feeling it out. Pass to Mourning. Scoring his third straight basket in 3 tries.
You can learn a lot by watching him operate in their offense.
Pistons leading by 4. Closing in on 4 minutes play here in the second quarter. Pass to Wilkes. Unloads from 13. No good on that one. And it's Boston the other way. And a special thanks to our guest, Bill Simmons. Always a compelling discussion, and I hope we can continue.
Yes, please. I'm available. Just call me.
Ready. There's your number right here.
Yes, you have my number.
And GA, what a pleasure to talk with Bill about this game. He brings that super fan perspective.
From a young child watching games at the Garden, and you sense he's never lost that wonder and enthusiasm.
Not his night so far. That's miss number 5 with no makes.
His field goal percentage has dipped this quarter. I mean, his movement has to be better. He has to find the open spots on the floor.
And here's Young from the arc. Hangs home the trifecta. Young's got 8.
This is what the crowd comes to see. Young has that impact.
Young against Paul. And what a play! Just snatched out of the air. Credit the block.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Passes it to Mourning. And Paul over the hill. Here's Young on the arc. And again, Boston with the triple.
And this is why Young is so dangerous. He just gets that shot off so fast before the defense can react.
Trae Young, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for Boston. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Dwayne. What are you looking at for the second?
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
For Boston, it was a challenging first quarter. A big part of the problem was their defense.
It's a moment when I show up, I don't stay a while. I got big rings.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Without question, Trae Young displaying his skills today.
He's done a fantastic job at finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
Yeah, the offense looks crisp, and guys are hitting their shots.
And on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. They've got Klay Thompson. Draymond Green is out there with Abdul-Jabbar, and it's Chris Paul. And it's Bowen in at the 3 spot. Pistons trail by 4.
And some teams have fancy dinners, guest speakers, and field trips. I mean, the Celtics culture is more straightforward. It's all about the work.
This series it from 3-point range.
That's what makes CP3 a nightmare to defend. You never know if he's going to beat you off the dribble or slip a pass right through.
Now, here is Young. He's got 11. The pass to Mourning. Over Thompson. Gets it to go from 8 feet. Mourning's got 10 points. And that work ethic, the core of the Celtics value, are written in a big placard on their locker room wall.
Yeah, it emphasizes unselfishness, execution, toughness, and hustle. Those are the values of their team.
Now, here's Green. After the miss from Trae Young, but they recover it. Abdul-Jabbar kicks the ball. And a miss there on the triple.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that's it.
Mourning. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Mourning's got the lead up to 5 now for Boston.
Yeah, Mourning's just a beast on the glass, using that muscular frame to get into prime position there on the board.
Abdul-Jabbar can't get it to go.
Yeah, the offense stuffed him a bit to start this second half. Only 1 for the first 5. And he just goes from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Now, here is Abdul-Jabbar. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. Chris, is there someone you competed with that you feel is underrated by history, has not been given their due?
Oh, yeah, definitely. When you look at White Chalk to Jason Williams, and what he started in the culture of play and what he continued. And you look at Ben Wallace, who I played with 4 years at Washington, and he was coming off the bench there, and we saw that potential with him. I mean, the way he led the league in rebounding, his defensive prowess. I mean, Pistons wouldn't have had a championship and gotten to another final if it wasn't for him. And also, I got to shout my man out, Mike Bibby and Peja Stojakovic, 2 of the best shooters I've played.
Great names, and I totally agree. Now, here's Fox, following the shot by Kareem. There's the 3. Hayward can hit. And here's Green. He'll bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. Pass to Paul. He can't get it to go. Austin leading by 4. A pass to Fox. Hayward outside. Shoots. Again, the Celtics good for 2. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Green deciding where to go with it. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
With that violent pinball style, Draymond draws a high number of fouls inside.
And the Pistons making a change here. Camby's checked in, so he can't get either to fall. The Celtics have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. Hayward can hit.
Well, he has to work harder to get a good high percentage look. I mean, he's been taking some bad shots out there.
Here's Thompson, and it's blocked. That's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now, here in the third. Paul against Fox. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Paul passes to Kim. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. That's now 8 points for Camby.
Well, yeah, more than anyone, Paul knows to have success, you got to do it with ball movement.
Got a piece of it. Paul with the steal. Count it, number 5 from the floor this game. He's now 5 of 11.
I mean, he has his choice of finishing. Love that he puts the finger roll. Graceful power.
Passes it to Hayward. Over Bowen. And too long on the shot.
His scoring has not been there at all tonight. I mean, it tells you a lot about their team. They have to be in there.
How about the determination of Bowen defensively? He's active and always efficient with that corner tray ball.
Luka Doncic, he's checked in for the Celtics. Seconds left in the third. In the layup for 2. Doncic has got his 3rd basket of the night.
And certainly not lacking in confidence. When Doncic gets these inside looks, he just jumps all over.
James, the turnaround jump shot. Paul's got it all tied up now for Detroit.
Just a great hustle play there.